Medicaid can be very challenging. And then take it a step further, if you're an individual seeking to use it as a source of funding for home, assisted living, or nursing home care. To help with eligibility criteria and other potential challenges, we're welcoming Sean W. Scott from Scott Law to the show.
Hey.
Welcome. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Great. Doing great.
It's a busy time of year, isn't it?
Very busy. This Thanksgiving holidays, and then go right into the Christmas holidays. It tightens everything up.
It really does. And then, of course, throw in open enrollment. People are talking about Medicare and, of course, Medicaid. And I want to talk Medicaid, though. Of course, I just mentioned a situation right here, people trying to navigate the different worlds of Medicaid. What are some key elements that people need to know if they would qualify?
So going into Medicaid, it can pay for care for you in a nursing home or an assisted living facility or even at home. But when you qualify for that, Medicaid looks at various things such as what your income is and what your assets are. So they apply this test, and you've got to make sure that you meet those eligibility requirements, otherwise you won't get on the program.
Okay, those tests, the test sounds a little intimidating there, Sean.
Yes,
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, tests are tough, yes. And you got to pass the test. If you don't pass those tests, if you don't meet those requirements, then you can't get the benefits to pay for that care. So that's kind of the trick here, the kind of the magic that has to happen.
Well, what are some of the potential challenges, considerations that families may need to be aware of before they even take the test, if you will, or start thinking about that?
Yeah, absolutely. The idea of care and providing care for somebody in a family situation, it can be very, very tough. You're taking care of your mom or your dad or your spouse, and as their needs increase and your abilities kind of decrease, it comes to a breaking point. So you need to be looking down the road in order to figure out, hey, when is this problem going to happen to me? And I like to say we want to solve it ahead of it as opposed to from behind it. So when you have some sort of idea that's out there that, hey, mom's getting worse and I think we might need more care, that's a really good time to start planning and to start getting your ducks in a row, so to speak, to make sure that you can access those benefits. I'd rather solve that problem early than late. And I tell you, boy, we have our things we call our uh-oh clients, that this problem has manifested or they just have ignored it the entire time, and now they find themselves in a nursing home. It's $12,000 a month to be there, and they go, uh-oh, how am I going to pay that bill? So these are the challenges is basically the biggest one is when do you pick up the ball and start solving the problem? So,
and say you've made the decision, you've picked up the ball, you're starting to look at information. What does that look like? Let's talk about things like the application process, or maybe some things that people should have in hand before they start.
So Medicaid, by the way, it's one of the most complex and Byzantine laws you've ever seen. There is no logic to it. We refer to it in the office as Alice in Wonderland law because it's just absolutely lunacy. The problem as a person trying to pick this up and do this themselves, I'm not really sure it's possible. We look at each other in the office with staff, we're going by the hallway.
And if you're saying that,
how does anybody do this? It's absolute craziness. Okay, so picking up the ball here, you want to make sure though that you're looking at what your assets are, what your income is. You want to have an idea of what those numbers are. There's a big problem with giving things away in Medicaid. If you give an asset away, for example, Medicaid says, hey, we're not going to give you any coverage, right? We're going to disqualify you. The penalty for committing that act is that you're going to be disqualified for benefits. So that's a big issue. Nice thing about that, all these kinds of problems that people will run into to qualify, there's solutions literally for every one of those problems. Now, I've been doing this for 33 years. 10,000 plus Medicaid clients. 100%.
You know the solutions.
100% success rate. Every one of our clients qualify for benefits, and we help preserve their life savings in every case.
And you know what? I want to go back to how you said, if you know that things are going to decrease on the care you can provide, go ahead, start the conversations now. Maybe start the reading now.
A little bit of research,
Possibly do some research, but most importantly, get someone like yourself on the team, right?
I agree. Having somebody that's been there and done that is the key.
There you go. And you know what? Actually, there's your website too. FloridaMedicaid.com is where you can go. There's also the phone number. And as you said, clients for over 30 years. Get someone that knows how to navigate.